And now for something completely different.
Forget everything you've been told by others before. Get ready for the real deal, the full story. Real talk about money, markets, life. Now, it's The Real Investment Show, presented by RIA Advisors.
And good Friday morning. Welcome to Financial Fitness Friday. I'm Rich Rosso, CFP, here with Jonathan McCarty.
Good morning.
CFP and CFA and SSA and whatever. We got a lot of numbers. It's funny, as financial advisors, I was telling one of our younger employees, Daniel, we always like to collect credentials. So I said, here's the smart way to do it. He wants to go for his CFP. Mm-hmm. And I said, that's great. And I think he'd be great as a financial planner. But then find the area that you would like to specialize in and dig deeper.
That's right.
Like be a specialist, if you like. I had to go for every certification, realize it was a waste of time. So, but we're here for you this morning, talking about the big, beautiful bill, what that means for your money. You know, it's not a big, beautiful deal in the fact that it's just cementing in place, at least for this administration, what was already there.
Right.
The funniest part is I worked with a couple not too long ago, and they said, oh my gosh, this tax bill's for the wealthy. So I think I told you, I had read through the House bill, which was about 388 pages. So I went through that, and then I ran it through AI, which was absolutely the stupidest thing in the world. I should have just run it through AI.
Get the Cliff Notes.
There were a lot of things that I thought were really good in the bill. But one of the things when this couple, young couple, really nice couple, they make maybe about $155,000 a year, 2 kids. I said, well, let's just run a tax analysis for you, since we're thinking maybe this is a tax break for the wealthy. And we came out with an additional $5,106 that they will pay, because everybody would have gotten a tax increase. So it's just something to keep in mind. I understand if you make more, just 50% of the country doesn't pay tax. They don't pay taxes, right? But I thought there were a lot of good things. We'll go through that today. In the meantime, we've got futures down this morning because all of a sudden we're going to hit maple syrup with a 35% tariff. Canada is getting, I don't know. That's 35% for you guys. Sounds like the Godfather, Trump. So this is going to be 35% tariff on Canadian imports starting August 1st, and cited fentanyl as a reason for the tariffs. I actually didn't know there was fentanyl coming in from, I guess it can go that way.
Yeah, I thought it came in mostly from China and across the border with Mexico.
I just think he wakes up, or he doesn't sleep, he wakes up in a minute and goes, tariff! And goes right to X or Truth Social and starts doing his thing.
We get the all caps. That's how you know.
Mm-hmm. Although Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, this is from CNBC, said Canada has made vital progress to stop the scourge of fentanyl. So I think he tries to jump some of these more complacent countries. He tries to get them to wake up and throws a number out. But what that does is it wreaks havoc short-term on markets.
It does.
One thing we know is markets have been absolutely resilient to everything. And I think it's the AI story that's just overwhelming everything. We know in the next 10 years, companies are going to be leaner and meaner.
That's right.
Larger companies. We know that. We know you can't hide in a cubicle anymore. I mean, AI, all these big companies, Procter & Gamble, I think the Ford CEO said it. With AI, you're going to be out of a job.
Yeah.
Some people are going to be out of a job. If you're middle management sitting in a cubicle, crunching numbers, whatever you're doing, your job's over, probably. You're just on borrowed time. So all this increased productivity, increase of margins is, I think, overriding a lot of things. Plus, I mean, eventually we think Powell's going to lower rates. We're still playing this game of rate chicken. Now, on July 15th, CPI, I think that'll be big. We'll see where the numbers are headed. They're probably still the same. Dot plots around 2.8, 3%. It's nowhere near, and it hasn't been anywhere near since Biden, the Fed's target. And who knows where it goes from there.
Yeah.
So we're still back on this. So, I mean, we have Dow futures down 300. S&P futures are down. But again, we see this happen where we open lower. S&P futures are down 41. We recover it and we ignore it.
Rebounds into the end of the day.
Because I think we know, even though there's a 35% tariff so-called on August 1st, that may or may not happen.
Well, they were supposed to kick back in on Wednesday, right? Originally, they were supposed to hit on the 9th, and now it's going to be the 1st. I just talked about this with a client yesterday. You know, until we actually have them kick in, I think, and Lance has made this point numerous times throughout the week, that the expectation from the market is that we'll just get a continuation.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not denying that you can see some price pressure. Now, companies are making record profits, so they're probably going to absorb a lot of it. But we're seeing a lot of this back and forth, which markets have gotten used to. It's like crying wolf, but eventually it's going to be reality to some degree. Because if anything, at least a baseline 10% tariffs are in. But now, I was reading that maybe it's going to be 15 or 20. He's just got to do all that stuff away from the scenes and just come out with the solution.
Can we get some inner monologue a little bit?
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
We don't have that anymore.
It seems
Remember when
like we
Homer
don't.
Simpson would say, I should have said, use my inner voice? Yeah. We don't use our inner voices anymore with social media. And it's sort of it's exhausting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, you read something and you go, you should have just said that, like staring at yourself in the bathroom mirror. You shouldn't have been broadcast. Why is that being broadcast to everybody?
The tendency to overshare is getting more prevalent in society.
Not only that, you would think people in power, people that will get totally scrutinized, would be a little bit more tempered than your neighbor. But it's the opposite.
Yeah.
We're more tempered than they are. And that's strange to me. If and I understand probably a lot of CEOs are refraining from it because it's corporate policy, but you have policymakers that are out there making bombastic statements, stupid things that you wouldn't put out there.
Yeah.
As an individual. And that's one of the more amazing things I'm finding about.
Well, once upon a time, making those kind of outlandish statements as a politician was career suicide. Mm-hmm. Now it seems to be the opposite effect, where it will actually help your polling numbers with your base if it's something that's galvanizing to them.
Well, one side wants blood, so if they use a lot of F language and all that, it seems to work. I guess. But after a while, you get desensitized to it.
Yeah.
And you'll go, well, what's the policy? How's the policy? How's it going to affect me? How's it going to affect my investments? That's really what it comes down to. All this rhetoric, going back and forth, all this bombastic stuff. I think people eventually tune out. The only ones who pay attention are the media because they say, oh, look at that headline fodder, right?
Yep.
It's clickbait.
Yeah.
These guys create clickbait every day. But, it bleeds into markets. But markets have been smart enough to avoid it and hit new highs, even though the media was saying a few months ago that the world, or the end of the world, was here. We get back. We're going to talk about some charitable stuff, some really good stuff, and also the big, beautiful bill. It's beautiful. It's big. It's huge.
Tremendous.
We'll be right back.
Get daily investment news you can use, delivered at the speed of the internet at realinvestmentadvice.com.
Got questions about retirement? Let's talk about it over coffee. Our next Candid Coffee event isn't another sales pitch. It's your chance to learn how to turn savings into strategy and risk into confidence. Richard Rosso and Jonathan McCarty share the RIA Retirement Blueprint Saturday, July 19th, in a special Candid Coffee edition designed to help you structure your savings, level your risk, and craft a secure future. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Register now for the RIA Retirement Blueprint, Saturday, July 19th at realinvestmentadvice.com.
Attention Chevron employees and anyone else receiving or considering a company severance package. We know the process can be intimidating. What should you know to maximize your payout? Lump sum or pension annuity, retirement plan rollover or not? What about tax timing your severance? The fiduciary advisors at RIA Advisors can help you make the best decisions for your situation. Call us today at 855-742-7526. That's 855-742-PLAN. Or online at realinvestmentadvice.com.
The Real Investment Show.
RIA Advisors Research is the envy of the industry. Our economic insights are featured on advisorperspectives.com, Fox Business, and MarketWatch. RIA provides advisors with marketing and back office support, objective research, and holistic, cutting-edge financial planning tools to meet your clients' needs. Want to join a winning team and be part of a fiduciary culture where you can do your best work? Then why haven't you contacted us yet? Go to our confidential advisor hub at realinvestmentadvice.com. RIA Advisors. Big enough where it matters, agile enough when it counts.
And now, another page from the Real Investment Advisors Investing Manifesto. Manage risk and volatility rather than trying to manage gains. You don't have to be right all the time. Long-term investing success is a 70% gain. Let us help you reach your financial goals with RIA Advisors. Neither bull nor bear. RIA Advisors, 281-501-1791 or online at realinvestmentadvice.com.
You're listening to The Real Investment Show.
And welcome back. We help everybody. We help every client. We don't care about your political affiliation. As a fiduciary, we're free. And what I mean by that is we don't get pulled into the narratives unless they are affecting markets, and then we realize those burn away. So its rules, its data will always fall back to that. So when I read the first iteration of the House bill, I said, there are some really good things for working people in here, right? The no tax on tips, but everything then gets limits and AGI limitations. You get all this great concept. Once it's written in, you've got to realize they're going to cap. Always realize they're going to cap it, and they're going to find a way to phase it out, depending on how much money you make. That's just how every act works. You didn't see that in the beginning. Now in the bills, you do see it.
Yeah.
I still think they're okay, but I have a lot of people with this tax on tips that are absolutely posting misinformation.
Yeah.
You have to itemize. It's on cash tips. I had one person go, well, who reports cash tips? I said, I'm just sending your name into the IRS.
Wow.
You're supposed to report.
Yeah.
I think it's over $20 or more, whatever. But you're supposed to just because it's a cash tip doesn't mean you don't report it.
Right. Let's just advertise that we do illegal things.
Yeah, and everybody's doing that online. Yeah. Like I said I did at irs.gov. Yeah. So people see that, hey, people are not reporting their tips.
That reminds me of the videos that were circulating. There was a Brinks truck that crashed on a freeway in San Diego, and people were recording themselves out on the freeway stealing this money and posting it online. Yeah,
look at me,
free money.
Up $1.
Yeah, and then they all got arrested. Just couldn't believe the stupidity.
Why are we like this?
I have no idea.
Social media has made us dumber.
Yeah, and attention seekers.
Everybody's got a little bit of a narcissistic seed, and I always argue that having 1 or 2% is good for self-esteem, but we are way over this.
Yeah.
We are way over the skis.
Everybody's the center of their own universe, and everyone else is just in their way.
Yeah. When you're a digital creator or social. Yeah.
I'm an influencer.
I'm an influencer.
Yeah. That's my favorite new job title.
You're influencing me to get the heck out of here. All right. So there are some, what I thought, accelerated deduction. And we're going to get deeper into these, but there are some really good things. The Section 199A deduction. Although I was hoping for pass-through businesses, they would have increased it to 23%. I thought that would have worked.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of increasing the SALT, but there are a lot in this bill. And I say, so somebody said, well, it's only for, rich people. I said it's for taxpayers.
That's right.
Do you pay tax? Yes. You pay tax.
Not on my cash tips.
No, not on my cash tips, though. At irs.gov. But if you pay tax, you will pay more if these brackets would have squeezed back down to where they were pre-2017.
Correct.
That's just common sense. It's not a tax cut for the wealthy. Yes, but if I make more money, I'm still going to pay more taxes than you, but maybe not at 39%. Right. So there are some really good things about we'll talk about the Social Security thing. They're conflating this a little bit, and I don't like it where they're saying there's no tax on Social Security. That's absolutely not true. But there have been, I thought, some really cool charitable changes. Some I don't really like. I don't like the limits to deductions for itemizers in the top bracket because I think wealthier people, and I'm not talking about Elon Musk, I'm talking about people that have worked hard. They have incredible charitable intention. You should encourage them to be more charitable.
That's right.
But let's go through some of what we saw, which I did like this above the line the charitable deductions for non-itemizers. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so typically, to deduct your charitable contributions, you do have to itemize, and now you can deduct up to $1,000 for single filers, $2,000 for married couples, even if you use the standard deduction. So that's a fantastic addition. Unfortunately, and to your point, Rich, this isn't all roses and rainbows for the wealthier clients. They actually reduced the amount that you would get to deduct on charitable contributions if you're in the top tax bracket. They're now limiting it at 35% marginal tax bracket. So if you're donating $1,000 and you're in that highest bracket, you're only getting $350 of the deduction.
I even thought, though, this new deduction, this above the line, because listen, there are a lot of people who donate money, but they're not able to deduct it because they're not itemizing, because the standard deduction obviously has been increased.
Yep.
And if you're an older American, it's been increased by another $6,000 depending upon your household income. I thought this had a phase out. This above the line.
Really? There's no phase out?
I thought I read in the bill somewhere that this above the line charitable deduction for non-itemizers phases out. In other words, there is an AGI limitation to this. So I'd take a look at that, but I'm pretty sure I read that in the bill. And I'm not seeing this in this document, but I'm pretty sure. But either way, it's going to phase out some of the higher earners. So if you're someone that donates money throughout the year, typical, you're making the median wages or above, and you give money to all these organizations, and you say, well, I hold the receipts, but my standard deduction, you now have a chance to deduct that.
Right.
And what's great, it's above the line. Charitable deduction. That's the most powerful thing. So next to a tax credit, right? So now you also but what you did do is you limited deductions for itemizers in the top tax bracket.
That's right.
So where'd you go from 35 to 35%?
37 to 35, yes.
Yeah.
But they also established a floor for those individuals that itemize. So now you only are able to deduct above $1,500 in charitable contributions.
Okay. I liked the spirit of that. I liked the spirit of, I think, again, wealthier people have all kinds of sophisticated vehicles, charitable lead trusts, charitable remainder trusts. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of ways to freeze estate assets and also benefit a charity and get powerful deductions. But that first charitable act above the line, that is, to me, a working class charitable deduction, because a lot of people that don't have a lot of money might donate $1,000, $1,500 a year and realize, I'm just doing it out of the goodness of my heart. I'm not getting a deduction, but now every little bit helps.
Yeah,
I think they should bolster that, but,
Prior to that, I believe the QCD was really the only option for individuals who took the standard deduction.
That's right.
You would need to use QCDs to get that charitable contribution.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely true. Qualified charitable distributions from IRAs, which is also a very Very popular.
Yeah.
Very effective way of handling it. It's also a way, so when you are able to take at least up to 100,000, and I think they're indexing that for inflation, aren't they?
I believe so.
At 70.5. So those didn't get adjusted higher in the Secure Act to age 73 and 75, right? You're 70.5. You have RMDs that are going to come out of your IRA at 73. You might want to accelerate moving money out of that IRA through, as we talk about it, surgical Roth conversions and or now charitable intent.
That's right.
So it is. I think it's become very popular. Do you remember, though, how long it took for them to codify that? Like, in other words, every year we'd be waiting almost to the end of the year before we're going, oh, my gosh, is this still going to be in effect? People want to do this. And like the last 2 weeks of December, the IRS would say, okay, it's okay for this
Still
year.
on the books.
It's still, and you're like, oh, my gosh, come on, really? So I think anything we could do, especially in the face of all these natural disasters. And listen, I think Americans are generous. They're going to give anyway. They're going to donate. The deduction is not the highest in their mind. They have a charitable intent. It's nice to get the deduction.
That's right.
But I really would love to see them bolster this this above the line, because I think it's worth it. I think you should cap it at 5,000 regardless of AGI for everybody. And watch a lot of middle-class families, even though they do it now, they might think about it again and realizing it's a pretty powerful above-the-line deduction. So I'm hoping that there's focus. So when I read through the bill, I was like, I give this like a C+, but you could make it an A, right, if you do certain things or continue on this. And what I also don't like is this is not indexed for inflation. Why not?
I think that's a mistake there.
It is a mistake.
Yeah.
You should index that for inflation. These charities get hit with inflation. And, again, people are going to donate. I was talking to people that are donating to the floods. If you're not here in Texas, we had some terrible, terrible floods up in Kerrville.
Yes, we did.
Point area. I mean, just devastating. The heartbreak that's coming for those families. My heart was bleeding for those families. I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
All those beautiful girls and families just gone, who were camping, right? And the terrible kinds of things being said about what's going on.
I mean, it's heartbreaking to see. My wife and their family were impacted by this. One of her childhood friends, her son was at one of those camps.
Oh my goodness!
And unfortunately, they still have not been able to find his body.
Oh my gosh!
So yeah, very, very hard.
You can't even imagine.
I could not, especially looking at my own son now that he just came into the world, but I could not imagine having something like that happen.
And, I didn't realize about this Camp Mystic. I knew about all the camps, but this one is multi-generational.
Yeah.
That people go, they send their kids, they've sent their grandkids. So I think bolstering the charitable deductions for middle class, lower middle class, would even be more important. So I hope they keep this bill, but they add some meat to it.
Yeah.
Down the road. We'll get back. We're going to be talking more about the big, beautiful bill with the big, beautiful audience. 3 people. We'll be right back.
The Real Investment Advice blog. It's required reading for the informed investor. Catch it today at realinvestmentadvice.com.
Got questions about retirement? Let's talk about it over coffee. Our next Candid Coffee event isn't another sales pitch. It's your chance to learn how to turn savings into strategy and risk into confidence. Richard Rosso and Jonathan McCarty share the RIA Retirement Blueprint Saturday, July 19th, in a special Candid Coffee edition designed to help you structure your savings, level your risk, and craft a secure future. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Register now for the RIA Retirement Blueprint, Saturday, July 19th at realinvestmentadvice.com.
If you're working and looking to retire soon, a Medicare special enrollment period is in your future. Understanding Medicare choices, enrollment deadlines, and costs are essential to your overall standard of living in retirement. The wrong choices can cost you thousands in penalties. Make sense of Medicare's alphabet soup with RIA Advisors online resources and one-on-one partners to help secure the healthcare insurance choice that is right for your lifestyle and budget and avoid gaps in coverage. Click on the insurance tab at realinvestmentadvice.com today. realinvestmentadvice.com.
The Real Investment Show.
Are you a financial advisor sneaking peeks at our stuff? Instead of trying to do it all yourself, why not just join the team at RIA Advisors? Our full-service organization can provide you with the support, unparalleled research, and tools for managing your clients' money and honoring the fiduciary pledge of putting clients' best interests first. Don't take our word for it. Talk to the advisors that work with us. Want to come win with us? Go to our confidential advisor hub at realinvestmentadvice.com. RIA Advisors, big enough where it matters, agile enough when it counts.
Can't catch the whole show now? Listen to our podcast later at realinvestmentadvice.com.
I remember in school those history stories about the late 1800s, and now Gen Z kids are now calling the 90s the late 1900s.
The Real Investment Show podcast.
And I feel like I just drank from the wrong grail in Indiana Jones.
Same show, your schedule.
I was talking to my daughter a few weeks ago, and I said something that she didn't agree with, and she goes, "Dad, you're just getting old and not relevant anymore."
At realinvestmentadvice.com.
Not relevant.
You're not relevant.
And now, another page from the Real Investment Advisors Investing Manifesto. Bulls win in bull markets. Bears win in bear markets. Eagles soar above and take advantage of opportunity. Let us help you soar as you reach your financial goals with RIA Advisors. Neither bull nor bear. RIA Advisors, 281-501-1791 or online at realinvestmentadvice.com.
The Real Investment Show.
Attention Chevron employees and anyone else receiving or considering a company severance package. We know the process can be intimidating. What should you know to maximize your payout? Lump sum or pension annuity, retirement plan rollover or not? What about tax timing your severance? The fiduciary advisors at RIA Advisors can help you make the best decisions for your situation. Call us today at 855-742-7526. That's 855-742-PLAN or online at realinvestmentadvice.com.
The Real Investment Show YouTube channel has all our videos ready for your easy access. Now with the new and improved Before the Bell report. Subscribe and bookmark our YouTube channel at realinvestmentadvice.com.
You're listening to The Real Investment Show.
Welcome back. So you heard the promo or you tuned out, but the RIA Retirement Blueprint, Saturday, July 19th at 8 o'clock. Listen, this is really good. Jonathan and I will be doing this because what we're trying to do, we're giving you the soup to nuts of how to craft a secure retirement, things you need to look at, not just financially, but mentally.
That's right.
I bought a new hat for it.
Really? I'm excited to see this. This is a can of coffee. We're wearing our bathrobes.
You can wear whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Show the baby. Show the baby.
Yep.
Show the baby. Your first time on camera.
He's very cute.
Yeah, okay, I'm sure he is. Looks like his wife. Like your wife.
Thankfully.
So, I bought the, so we talk about Tim Allen, Tool Time, and Wilson, right, to help you understand the crossover risk in retirement. So I got one of Wilson's bucket hats.
Nice.
I'm going to be wearing that.
Got fishing lures in there as well?
And I have one for Danny for when we do it in person, which will cover his head right now. Which, I don't know. I got a medium, but his head looks pretty big to me. So we'll see if it fits. So this is really a great education. This is, again, Social Security, Medicare, we demystify a lot. Okay, it's a lot for a Saturday morning. I will tell you that. So drink a lot of coffee.
That's right. Have
Take
your Wheaties.
shrooms, have your Wheaties, whatever it is. But you will learn a lot. Now, what I do like, obviously, with the marginal tax brackets staying where they are, you can go ahead and span out more on your Roth conversions. Because listen, all this stuff is fleeting to me.
Right.
Democrats get back in. This thing is...
Pendulum swings the other way.
Pendulum's going to swing the other way.
Just talked about.
And with deficits and all that, eventually taxes go higher. You have been giving an incredible opportunity to continue your Roth conversions and building up money, especially if that money is earmarked for legacy assets to non-spouse designated beneficiaries. So keep that in mind. So this taxpayers 65 and older are going to have a little bit of a treat. We tried, I guess, to do this no taxes on Social Security, but you got to remember the Social Security system is a bit precarious at this point. That would have probably knocked everywhere that I looked 4 to 6 years off the trust fund. So this was a sort of, I think, creative way to make up for no tax on Social Security.
Right.
I think that legislators have to stop calling it no tax on Social Security because that's not what it is, right?
Yeah, they want that soundbite.
Yeah, it's a mixed message. So you're going to get this deduction of $6,000, an additional deduction if you're 65 and older. Now, again, if you're single and your adjusted gross income is $75,000 or $150,000 for a couple, if you're above that, you're not going to get it. Now, I'm thinking, and I've looked in this bill, I'm thinking this is not a provisional income formula. I'm thinking this is just modified adjusted gross income.
I think so as well.
I can't find anything that says to get to this 150. I think it's, you know what I mean?
Yep.
They could have made it even more onerous. So I think, again, this passage of this, the $6,000 deduction, you have to remember there's a point where there are some wealthier retirees, they're paying 85%. Taxes on 85% of their
no matter what
their benefit. They're above. Then you have the people that are paying 50, and then a lot of people fall right within those two, right? This helps a lot these middle-class Americans who are paying taxes on Social Security. So I do think this enhanced $6,000 tax deduction for middle and lower income taxpayers is not a bad thing.
No, and the article makes a good point as well. It's not just for individuals who are actually receiving Social Security. This is just for anyone over age 65. So there's really extra benefit for people who maybe retired earlier and aren't planning to draw on their Social Security until they hit age 70. They can still take advantage of this.
Yeah, because even if they're going to wait until age 67, full retirement age, which most people would be now, to your point, you're 65 and older, you can get this.
That's
and
right.
Listen, if you're making over 150 grand, I mean, the deduction would help.
But you probably don't need it.
You're a wealthier retiree, let's face it. I mean, how many retirees are bringing in 150 grand in retirement, right? Maybe people on this show, like Larry and Chad, right? I mean, I'm sure he's bringing in that a month. Because only people who bring in $150,000 a month are up this early for a chat room.
That's right.
So
watching the futures market.
So regardless of your personal views, it's not a bad thing. It's modestly advanced the insolvency date for the trust fund, although I don't see how, because this is not anything to do with it. But this new $6,000 deduction is, again, to me, was positive. I didn't see anything that I would say was worse. You got to lay off the fact that maybe it's no tax on Social Security. And to your point, why don't they spin it like that? Positively, like you said. You don't even have to be taking Social Security.
Right. Just senior deduction.
And
senior deduction.
And I'm getting a senior deduction. I spoke to a client yesterday, and he's like, oh, man. He works a part-time job. He's retired. He's 66 years old. He's waiting to take Social Security.
Yep.
He's going to wait till 70. So he falls below the threshold. So he will get it. And he's like, this is great. And I think for most middle-class, lower-middle-class Americans, I think this is a benefit.
I think so, too. And, it has a marginal impact on the longevity of the Social Security trust. In fact, I was just talking with a client about this. He is mid-50s, getting ready to look towards retirement. And, asked me, what do you think is going to happen with Social Security? Are they going to cut this away? Are we going to see a massive reduction in benefits? And, I told him I really didn't expect to see that type of impact to people in his demographic. That is my own opinion. But I'm curious to see what you think, Rich. I mean, the way I positioned it is that we'll probably see some type of a phase out or phase in of any changes that are made to Social Security and will likely impact younger generations. But what's your take?
I think so too. I think, matter of fact, that you have a lot of younger people coming to me in their 30s. And I really don't like doing this, but if it makes them save or encourages them, we don't include Social Security, even though in their analysis.
Oh, that's prudent.
Well, I don't know. Either I'm setting them up for what could happen, or they'll have more money, right? So I don't know. I personally think that with Social Security being the pension, if you cut benefits in any form for older generations, that's political suicide.
Absolutely. I mean, they are still the largest voting bloc. Even though, younger generations are catching up as far as their voting influence,
it's still an aging population, to your point.
Right. Well, and also the younger generations don't participate at the same rates that older generations do.
Right. And we've talked about this, that it's not that difficult to fix.
Right.
At this time. But it's a political hot potato. You'd think both parties would, well, they don't get together about anything, but you would think they would get together and say, listen, we just have to tweak this.
Yeah.
Right? And bolster it a bit. And then there's ways to do it. But I'm like, if you increased, I think Denmark actually looks at the actuarial tables. They're very active on increasing the age when you need to take it. So like my idea was, if you were born 1985 or later, maybe you want to go ahead and raise full retirement age 68. Right. That probably makes a big difference. I don't understand why we have the wage cap. I think you can increase that wage cap. I used to be a fan of paying taxes. I'm not anymore because of where the money goes. But with Social Security payroll tax, at least I know I'm helping, because it's really a pay-as-you-go system, even though the trust fund's there. So it's nice to know that I'm helping people that worked hard and they need these benefits, and I know where the money goes.
100% agree. Yeah.
So if you wanted to raise that on me, that's one tax I would not have a problem with, because I know it's helping seniors, unless it's helping Larry, because then I might have a problem.
Yeah.
Right. So then I got a real problem paying taxes. So, we have to work on bolstering it. So there was, to me, for them to say no tax on Social Security, I just don't think they would have been able to get that done. I understand it may have been the way the process worked, they couldn't do it. Well, I think the standard deduction's a better idea.
The parliamentarian is the one that struck it down just because it's not eligible for the reconciliation process. So if they were going to pass that, they would need the majority to get that passed. And I don't see that as happening. Even if it is good for the American populace.
Nobody's going to be.
Right. No one from either party is going to switch sides to the extent that they need that many people
except
to
John
vote
Fetterman.
For the bill. Yeah. Thanks, John. Yeah.
We appreciate you, Mr. Fetterman. Thank you. So this one's a good one. I think, you're going to be cursing if you're not eligible, but frankly, if you're bringing in $250,000 in retirement, I'm not feeling too bad for you. I think you did a great job, and I'm always going to admire you for that. But
dry your eyes with a $100 bill.
Dry your eyes.
You're doing very well. Congratulations.
Like Richie Rich. No, who used to do that? The Howells on Gilligan's Island. Thurston Howell. Lovey. They go, don't you have enough $100 bills? Because we need a new roof. You can create a whole new roof.
Thatch style.
With our suitcase of $100 bills. Gilligan's Island. Now that was
classic.
You even know Gilligan's Island.
I do.
Yeah. All right, little buddy. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.
Get daily investment news you can use, delivered at the speed of the internet at realinvestmentadvice.com.
Got questions about retirement? Let's talk about it over coffee. Our next Candid Coffee event isn't another sales pitch. It's your chance to learn how to turn savings into strategy and risk into confidence. Richard Rosso and Jonathan McCarty share the RIA Retirement Blueprint Saturday, July 19th, in a special Candid Coffee edition designed to help you structure your savings, level your risk, and craft a secure future. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Register now for the RIA Retirement Blueprint, Saturday, July 19th at realinvestmentadvice.com.
RIA Advisors Research is the envy of the industry. Our economic insights are featured on advisorperspectives.com, Fox Business, and MarketWatch. RIA provides advisors with marketing and back office support, objective research, and holistic, cutting-edge financial planning tools to meet your clients' needs. Want to join a winning team and be part of a fiduciary culture where you can do your best work? Then why haven't you contacted us yet? Go to our confidential advisor hub at realinvestmentadvice.com. RIA Advisors. Big enough where it matters, agile enough when it counts.
The Real Investment Show.
Attention Chevron employees and anyone else receiving or considering a company severance package. We know the process can be intimidating. What should you know to maximize your payout? Lump sum or pension annuity, retirement plan rollover or not? What about tax timing your severance? The fiduciary advisors at RIA Advisors can help you make the best decisions for your situation. Call us today at 855-742-7526. That's 855-742-PLAN or online at realinvestmentadvice.com.
And now, another page from the Real Investment Advisors Investing Manifesto. A passive investment portfolio requires active risk management. It's not a choice, it's necessity. Diversification doesn't protect against risk of loss. Let us actively help you reach your financial goals with RIA Advisors. Neither bull nor bear. RIA Advisors, 281-501-1791 or online at realinvestmentadvice.com.
You're listening to The Real Investment Show.
And we're back. It is one of the greatest conundrums of life is how in heck did coconuts have such incredible use on Gilligan's Island? They were radios, they were chairs, they were bicycles. Coconuts were the meaning of life.
If only they could have figured out how to make a boat, they could have gotten off the island.
You'd think they could have. And Gilligan always messed it up. So there was only one thing to do. Drown Gilligan. Bye, little buddy.
Is it Lord of the Flies?
Oh, my gosh. I always wanted to reinvent Gilligan's Island with zombies and see how that all worked out. That would have been really good. So one of the other provisions in the tax bill is no tax on tips. And I see people griping about this because, it's only up to $25,000. It phases out. Well, let me explain this to you. The deduction phases out $100 for each $1,000 by which a taxpayer's modified adjusted gross income exceeds $150,000 single, $300,000 for joint filers. If you're making $300 grand, what are you worried about?
Yeah.
This wasn't designed for you. So all you people that say, well, I'm a waiter and this is nothing. Well, what kind of family you coming from, buddy?
Yeah.
I think this up to $25,000 for qualified tip income. And then qualified tips are cash tips. And everybody's now telling me that nobody does report cash tips. At least on this thread I was on. And I just kept posting every few minutes at irs.gov to show the IRS that people are not paying taxes on tips. So, again, not a bad idea, but you're always going to have AGI requirements, phase outs. That's just part of every bill you get. Every provision is going to have it. Again, I don't think this is bad. Do you?
Not at all. No, I think it gives, the people who need the help the opportunity to save a little bit of money.
Uh-huh. If I'm, waitress at Denny's or waiter at Denny's, and I'm making some extra money for my family, and how many people work extra part-time jobs, except Larry, and, contribute to society, except Larry, and that need the money.
Yeah.
This is free cash flow that's coming into the household.
Or even people who are working part-time jobs. In college, I worked as a waiter myself.
Right.
I've worked food service, so I have a tremendous appreciation for people who do that.
If you're bitching about this bill, it's because you don't need it.
Yes.
But there are waiters and waitresses, and I talk to a lot of them, and I see them a lot when I go to these smaller towns, they will find this beneficial. They'll be able to use this.
Yeah, I think that, those same people that are complaining about it are the people who aren't really getting much of a benefit from it, but it's not designed for you. I think that, unfortunately, one of the emerging trends in society is that if something doesn't benefit me directly, well, I already think it's unfair. It's similar to your point about raising the cap on Social Security tax. I'm okay paying more taxes if it means somebody who really needs the help is going to be able to get it.
Mm-hmm. People just need something to
complain about.
It's funny. It's funny how we're wired, but if it's a good provision, whether a Democrat or Republican pushes it out, and it's good for the American people, why do we have a problem with it?
Yeah.
If it's a good provision, it's a good provision. Right. I don't care I don't care who put this provision forward. It's a good one.
Yes.
Right? We look at these things through a different prism.
We used to go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
We used to consider, changes in society, if they benefited a large group, they were worth doing.
Yes.
And now it's so polarized that if it doesn't benefit my group, well, this is a bad policy.
Right.
And that's just not the case.
No, it's not. And I think outside of the fake world of social media, how many people are on X? Is it what marginal percentage of the population?
Yeah.
Yet they're the squeakiest wheels.
The loudest, yeah.
They're the loudest. So this part of the bill is not bad. We also saw, again, these pass-through deductions that are still part of the bill. The qualified business income deduction, which is great. Mm-hmm. I wanted to see that go up. There's also, I think, accelerated depreciation. There's some smaller businesses, mid-sized businesses that I think are really going to benefit from that.
That's right.
So when I read through the bill, and I guess the biggest contention was the SALT.
Up the SALT to 40K.
40K.
Yeah.
So obviously that helps a lot of the coastal cities. But heck, the way property taxes are here, it's helping some
not far
here.
behind. Yeah.
We do not laugh at those, those. So the overall changes, how you now have to look at this. The other thing is we've had some enhanced credits in this bill. Child tax credits now up to $2,200 per eligible child in 2025, up from $2,000.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
First year.
You phase out, buddy. You're not.
That's true.
You're not getting that.
Dashing my dreams,
yeah,
Rich.
Sorry. There's the adoption credit, $5,000 of adoption credit, refundable credit, starting in 2025. That's not bad either. There's a scholarship credit, non-refundable credit up to $1,700 per year for cash donations to approved scholarship granting organizations, available to all taxpayers. Right? You got that. So. Guys, also, did you see something about the Trump accounts?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, my wife brought it up to me because we now have a child. And so she said we should open this Trump account. They'll give us $1,000.
Does she understand the AGI?
Yeah. No, it's not subject to any income limits. So we're good
that?
there. Yeah, we're not subject to income limits with this one. And you can contribute $5,000 of your own money. And listen to this, Rich. Half of that can come from your employer.
That's right.
So
no, that's a great benefit.
Yes, it is. So,
right?
We can talk about this.
We can talk about the Trump, the big, beautiful Trump account.
That's right.
And I think at age 18, does it become theirs?
I believe it's this two-phase, age 18 and 25, if I'm not mistaken. They do it in two phases.
But no, at age 18, they don't take possession of it. It converts to an IRA. Not yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So
I must have missed that.
When I read it, I was like, oh, great. This is like a custodial account. There's your son, right? And meets this gorgeous chick. None of the kids that Larry has, right? Someone who's cute. And they go ahead and they go, oh, I'm going to buy myself a new Corvette to impress my girlfriend. No, because I think at age 18, it looks like it converts to a traditional
retirement account. Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I missed that when I was looking into it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You could try all you want. We're all trying different ways to increase the population and reverse our terrible demographics.
I'm doing my part.
Not yet. You're not done yet.
A few more, please.
Yes, we're working on it.
Well, that was a TMI for early in the morning. How exactly are you doing that?
This is why I'm up at alert right now, guys.
Another pun. So, overall, I rate this bill a definite solid B, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it's, to me, this whole narrative, tax cuts for the wealthy. No, this would have been a tax increase on everybody. If you pay taxes, it's an increase. Maybe you don't mind paying an extra $1,800 a month if you're making the median income. That's okay. But, you got to break through the false narratives, read the bill, see what's in it, understand that whatever party puts it out, there's always going to be AGI phase outs. I am shocked this Trump account doesn't have it.
I am as well.
Shocked.
Yeah, I am as well.
Yeah, I am really shocked. I understand it on credits and tax credits, which are pretty powerful, but that's now, what year does that take place? Is it sunset after a period? I don't remember reading.
Through 2028. So
it's through 2020.
Just like most of these other provisions in the bill, and like we talked about the pendulum swing, it's not a surprise that they're phasing this out at 2028 because they, if another political party comes in, well, they're going to have to do something on their own to get the same type of feedback from the nation.
That's why when it comes to Roth conversions, if they're right for you, you've been given a great gift, a reprieve, and you are going to see that it's going to be beneficial. So not to spill the beans, but we will be having a summit in January. Our investment summit's going to come up in January. I'm not going to share every detail, but we are going to have the king of taxes, Ed Slott. And I'm always a big fan of Ed, and Ed's just been really great on the tax perspective and Roth conversions and retirement income specialty. So he'll be one of our speakers. So I'm pretty excited about that. So,
I am as well.
Yeah. So he'll go through a lot of this with you as well. He's great. So the overall bill itself is not bad. It's just how are you going to take advantage of it? Which elements of the bill are you able to, maybe your children or grandchildren are going to benefit from that you may not because you're rich, lovey, and you are AGI cast out because you make too much money. But again, I thought this no tax on tips. The deduction was a really clever way to work around the Social Security, no taxes.
It was.
I thought that was, I never even thought of that.
Yeah, that was a nice
increasing
workaround.
that standard deduction. So there are some good things. If you're a middle-class American, lower middle-class American in retirement, which a lot are, you're going to have some benefits here. If you're higher wage earner, you have more abilities for Roth conversions and other things that are going to help you for a while. So overall, we rate it a B. Tune in Monday. Lance is back with a Real Investment Advice. Sign up for the newsletter. Comes out every Saturday. Great stuff. You have a great weekend. See you soon.